How long does it realistically take to achieve your goals? This is a question that has been asked countless times by a countless amount of people. And while there's no direct answer to this question because different goals take different amounts of time and different people work in different ways, I think by planning out goals and setting smaller ones for yourself, you can shorten the time that it takes to accomplish certain ones. But this video is about your main goal. How long should it take? Well, when looking at studies, an average goal that takes a typical amount of time to accomplish will usually take around 1 to 5 years to complete. But there are countless factors that go into it, and while the title of this video is asking the question of how long it should take, I more wanted to draw attention to people trying to accomplish their goals as fast as possible. So, sorry for catfishing you. But I want them to see this video and realize that when you go into something only looking forward to the end, then you probably don't enjoy doing it, or you should rethink how you're doing it, because this is not the path you want. You may be saying, well, Wisteria, I don't care about what I'm doing as long as it brings in money. Which in some ways is fair, because some people only work hard at something because they need the money. But I'm not here to argue that. I'm arguing that wishing away your life because you're doing something that you hate so much is not a way I want to live my life. You see, I think modern work culture, especially in Gen Z, has increased the rate of people realizing that they don't want to do this for 40 years. People don't want to live a life, or, in my opinion, not live their life at all, because of the job they have to work. I think a lot of people within Gen Z are struggling, because we're all approaching the age where we're either in college, picking a major, or doing whatever else we're doing, or the older half is getting out of college and getting into careers. Every generation is different from the last in some sort of way, but Gen Z has a very drastic difference because we've grown up in a very marginal time for technology. Unlike generations before us, we've grown up with technology always around us, but unlike the generations after us, technology was still evolving drastically year by year. So as much as we've always had technology, and we're the first generation fully proficient in technology, we still experienced life before it was as powerful and before it took over. I think that's changed our perspective because at first it was exciting to see the new technology, but we almost have a nostalgia for our childhoods before it took over and became what we see in our day-to-day lives. Gen Z is a lot more emphasis on human creation. It's almost like a full circle moment where it used to be ornate designs and skilled craftsmanship were very valued, and in the past couple generations, especially millennials, minimalism has been sought after. Gen Z grew up and decided that they were tired of having no character. I can't count the amount of videos I've seen on Gen Z covering up the millennial white paint color that has become super popular. And not to mention with the rise of AI, emphasis on human creation has gotten even higher because somebody with no talent can create something that would take months within a few seconds just by typing a prompt. A lot of Gen Z doesn't want to work the desk jobs, which is why they're also so susceptible to the get-rich-quick schemes that tend to go around on TikTok. Everyone wants to have as much money as they can get as fast as they can get it, so they can live the rest of their life, which is definitely not a bad thing, but when you get too desperate, you can make decisions that aren't good for you. This is also why I feel like people only look towards the end of their goals, because a lot of times we only see results as important, instead of the little baby steps we take along the way. Since we don't want to work these desk jobs, a lot of people are starting to shift their goals towards things other than career. Things such as art, content creation, or in other words, they want to create things that have a real impact on people. At my current job, I pack pharmaceuticals for patients in old folk homes. I'm creating an impact by helping these people get their meds on time so they can survive, but the difference between this and the other jobs I've listed is that you get to see the impact, and that does mean a lot to people. Gen Z is a more selfish generation. And as much as that sounds like a bad thing, I believe it's actually a good thing. We've taken the thing that's been told to us for our entire lives, how we have to get a job so we can provide for a family that we're going to get, and thought deeper about it, not wanting to sacrifice our entire life for very little return. If it were true that you could work and provide for a family by yourself, then it would be a lot different. But when you overwork yourself 40 plus hours a week and you still struggle to pay the bills and make ends meet, you really have two options. You either suck it up and do it for the rest of your life hoping that it gets better, or you decide not to, And I think Gen Z is really the first generation to just decide not to. And we're treated like we're lazy for this. But a lot of people have really big dreams still, but they're just not traditional, so that's why they're seen as lazy. To move towards the title of this video, I think the real answer of how long it should take to achieve your goals is however long it's necessary to keep going. If your goal is to hit 1 million followers, then your goal will probably take a couple of years. But when you hit that goal, instead of being fulfilled, you'll probably just make another goal to hit 5 million, which is a good thing. So the moral of the story is to set realistically hittable goals that don't take your entire life and only have a couple of goals that take a lifetime, so that you can keep achieving and setting new ones as you go. If you clicked on this video thinking that your goals need to be accomplished as soon as possible so that you can be free and do whatever you want for the rest of your life, then I urge you to rethink, because goals are what drive us, and without one you'd feel empty. So instead, try to close the gap on goals in due time. And whenever you finish one, set another. That way you can maintain the ability to work towards something, and you will be well versed in plenty of topics, and who doesn't want to be well rounded? So, to summarize, I think that the modern emphasis on making sure that you get as rich as you can as fast as possible, so that you can enjoy the rest of your life, is damaging in a lot of cases. Because a lot of the message is working hard so you can get the money isn't intended to be bad, but it ends up being bad when you aren't succeeding, and it feels like you just aren't good enough. It creates an inferiority complex, and people shouldn't be feeling like this. You shouldn't put that much pressure on yourself, because up until recently, humans used to spend every day trying to survive, and when that was secured, they would just hang out. This video is a bit shorter than normal, but I'm leaving my job soon to pursue this channel and make better videos. So within the next couple of weeks, the content will probably change a little bit, and I'm excited to see what I can do, along with learning tons of new things, so even if my dreams change, I can take these skills somewhere else in my life. So, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment if you have anything to say. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, and as always, God bless.